Amid border tensions with China, an MSME from Bangalore has now stepped in and is assisting Indian Army and the Indian Air Force in providing solutions to the problems. Resonating the Atmanirbhar Bharat motto, Alpha Design Technology Limited has bagged the Rs 590 crore contract for the Pechora missiles, which is a surface-to-air missile which could be a game changer at the borders. My colleague Surat Suresh spoke to retired Colonel HS Shankar, who told us how the Pechora missile can be a game changer at the LAC. Listen in.
Well, over the past 7 months, we have been seeing the kind of tension at the borders, let it be the LOC or the LAC as well. But with respect to that, we need to see how our army, our air force, all of them are secure, and the kind of artillery that we have there. For the same reason, there is an MSME from our own Bengaluru. There is Alpha Design Technologies Limited. They have come forward and they have this entire digitization process that they have brought in here to ensure that Pechora missiles which will be there, they will be digitized and they will be equipped enough as well. To understand all of this, I have with me Colonel HS Shankar. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Firstly, when we speak about missiles and the kind of tension at the borders, probably we'll have to see how we can digitize, how we can make it better, how our entire army and the air force can be more equipped. So with respect to that, now Pechora is the new thing which you have taken up. You've got a contract as well. So what is the new system going to be? How is it going to be looking like in the coming days?
You see, one is that the systems which are there with the Indian Air Force or with the Defence Forces, it consists of three varieties of equipment, I would say. One is the very old equipment. The second type of equipment and system which have been procured in the last about, let's say, 15 years, and the ones that are coming in now. The question was, how do you maintain the older pieces of equipment? For example, this Pechora was an old equipment. Somewhere in the 80s and 90s, this have been purchased and procured and have given good service. The equipment is solid. However, there are lots of issues with respect to its obsolescence, defect proneness, reliability issues, spares being not available at the right time, because whether it is from Russia or anywhere else, those items are not being produced today. So how do you manage it? One method is throw it off and go for completely new systems. But that costs money. One has to be very careful with that and also takes time. So one of the things that I think Air Force very wisely decided is whether an upgradation of the system can be done. And if so, which are the areas that they should concentrate? And they said that industry should do that. So it is a joint cooperative effort between the Ministry of Defence, the Indian Air Force and the industry. So all of us have worked together to ensure a better system comes. And an upgradation program is always considered less costly as compared to the new system. For example, this same system, Pechora, if it is to be procured today, probably the Defence Forces would have paid 3 times to 4 times the price that they paid in 1990s. For upgradation, it will be almost 50% of the price at which they obtained in 1990. You can get an upgradation done. And that's what we are doing.
So now we have got a 590 crore project for the same reason. So now we already have the Pechora missile. We already have an entire system which is in place. That is, the radars are there and you have an entire unit as well. So how is it going to be modified, if you could understand? Because when this is already there, probably you need a better upgradation. So if you could explain what is the kind of upgradation that will be brought in the new project that you are going to be taking up.
So what we decided on the basis of the inputs that Air Force had, because they have been using it for the past about almost 20-25 years, which are the ones that are giving them problems, which are the ones that are becoming defective. So they analyzed it on the basis of which the decision was made by the operational people of Air Force that the radar transmitter, for example, which is the one that gives the inputs to these antennas to throw the radar beams onto the outside area. So that radar transmitter was becoming very, very defect prone. So that was required to be changed with a newer, indigenous, modern design of 2020. That's what we are doing at the first stage. Similarly, the receiver was old version with valves and all that being there, again becoming defective. That was changed with a newer version of receiver. That of course we are getting it also as a technology transfer from Russia, but will be made here as per the Atmanirbhar program. Then on the launcher side, there were again lots of technological issues, problems, time for which it is to be fired. So all of them have been digitized with modern versions of the servo systems and the control loops, which will give an effective output as far as the launcher is concerned. Then the biggest advantage is in the command post. The earlier command post had the old Russian valves, which were there in, thousands of valves are there, hundreds and thousands. Modern design doesn't need that.
Probably too leaky and
not available also, and becoming defective. And valves have got a tendency of its effectiveness going down over a period of time. So that is replaced with a newer version of the command post with newer software, with additional features. All of them have been incorporated, more comfortable, and the old one is being thrown out, and the new command post is going in its place for giving the complete effective control of the whole system. Then again, the communication link. Since launcher will be in one location, which is about, let's say, about 200 meters away, another one is in 500 meters away radar, command post somewhere else, so it is all distributed. You have to have a good command link, communication link. That has been indigenously designed totally, and the old version is taken out, and the whole thing is being upgraded. Then also there were lots of gears, mechanical items, cables, all of them were all defect prone and all that. These are all totally being replaced with the newer versions of it.
But now considering that you will be getting an entire digital platform for them as well and a better upgradation, can we also look at the algorithm, because probably they'll have to calculate at what speed the aircraft is coming, at what speed the surface to air missile will be going as well, the correction rate. All of these algorithms also will have to be changed, so that for the next 10-15 years probably they could be equipped enough to ensure that they can have this at that base. So that also will be improved now.
Yeah, it is part of that, because firstly the radar, this is a tracking radar. It gets the information from a surveillance radar, which is placed elsewhere as part of the air defense command post, that looks into the sky 60-70 kilometers away and gives the input to the command post. And command post will have to calculate with respect to where the targets are approaching. The radar gets the information, and at what distance when the target is there from the firing unit, the firing commands have to go from the command post. This is where the commander will be sitting and he will be pressing the button. When he presses the button, the launcher will release the missile and missile will take off. Very crucial for that to decide as to when the launcher has to be initiated. This is dependent on the information that will come from surveillance radar through the guidance officer. Then the launching scheme, exactly at what portion, will be decided by the launch officer, depending again on the target that is coming in, and the various command control operations are done from here, because the complete radar scenario is there in the PPI screen, and the commander will always be observing, because of, as you said, the algorithms that will be there with respect to the software, as to where the missile is going, where the radar is tracking, what is the miss distance, they are within the range or not, is there any corrections to be given, and how exactly is functioning. All of them are calculated and seen on the command post, so that the information is a ready stream of information is available, calculated. Very high level mathematical algorithms are used in the software, and that is what gives that the performance characteristics, and also the hit probability is increased. This is the whole scheme. It works as a complete integrated system, so that the effectiveness of the missile system can be enhanced.
Well, it's surely proud for us that, from Bengaluru, Namma Bengaluru, all the way till Delhi, Ladakh, all those areas is where all of this will be going. Prime Minister Modi has been speaking about, Atmanirbhar. So regarding that, what would you like to say? Probably at this point, we are capable enough to get in our own systems to upgrade and ensure that we are self-reliant. So this is one step here which we are seeing, and probably there are many other projects which the Ministry of Defence will also be taking up with you.
Yeah, what is Atmanirbhar actually? to do as much as possible within our country. Why? Firstly, we acquire the capability, and what capabilities have been acquired has to be actioned upon with respect to specific systems. That's exactly is being done. And mind you, this particular project, Government of India could have gone in a global sphere. They could have gone to Russia and they could have got it. But they trusted the Indian industry, including an MSME like us, who competed with giants like Bharat Electronics or ECIL and all that. And when we were picked up, they had the confidence in an Indian industry as an MSME, and we were given this. This MSME has got its own, the tier 2, tier 3 suppliers with respect to other MSMEs. Because the order has come to us, there will be at least about 40 to 50 different MSMEs will also be benefited. And so it's a distribution of work, and also the Indian content is raised. We have taken help from Russians because they are the original designers. So where it is necessary, we will go to them, but do it here.
Absolutely.
They will have to come and give the thing here and make us do this. And in the process, the indigenous capability is built up. And now this upgraded radar will have to be run for good 15 years, 20 years, let us say. Yes. This industry will give the backup support, repair support. The Air Force, or they need not go all over the world to get the spares.
Correct.
And this is part of it, and I'm very proud today, I'm sure along with you, on the Air Force Day, we are discussing this, a newer upgradation, improvement of the capabilities of the Indian Air Force requirements.
Absolutely. It's a big boost for the Indian Army, the Indian Air Force, as well as India in particular, keeping in mind that we are looking at Atmanirbhar now, and probably that is something which you're bringing to you on 80th anniversary of Indian Air Force Day as well, wherein probably in the coming days, we surely will be self-reliant, and probably we will be going forward and having and giving out a fit answer to all of our enemies as well. Well, this is Suraj reporting for India Ahead from Bengaluru.